Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast. This episode is sponsored by the Key of C. If you are a piano player like me and you don't have the skills of a Mozart or a Chopin, the Key of C, it's the friendliest of all keys. All you gotta do is hit all those white keys. And in any order, time, rhythm, does not matter. Melody, it's already there. Just hit all those white keys and something will happen and you'll make $1 million guaranteed. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. I am your co-host, Brennan Graham, and sitting across from me is my good friend, Cameron Osborne. Cameron, how are you doing this fine week?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Hello.
We're back to it.
Hello out there.
Another fine
Hello
week.
over there. Hello.
One day there'll be an audience here.
Hello.
And we can properly address them.
I can't wait until we can properly address an audience.
Yeah.
We'll say hello, and then they'll say...
Okay, that's a mixed. It's sending a mixed signal.
Well, yeah, I'm having to be
they
like
will applaud.
Well, some people will applaud, some people will boo. I had to cover both parts.
Okay,
but
so it's a split crowd.
Split crowd, right down the middle. The side that you're sitting on is all applause.
I guess that's neutral then. Wouldn't it be neutral if you have an enemy and a fan on both sides of you?
Exactly.
That's the best,
I
right?
mean, there's 100% of a group cannot like one. There's
That's a modern democracy. We're talking politics here on the
We're talking
on
politics
podcast.
on the politics. We've never done this before. The great debate is probably happening right now. We're not paying attention because we're sitting down here in the basement.
Sitting in the basement. That's pretty cool.
But you can get out to vote. Of course, I think we can all agree it's important.
Yeah, it's important if you're a part of this society.
I'm so politically drained from this past year and a half.
Yeah, and not even our politics.
And it's not even our
I don't
politics.
have time to focus on Canadian politics when America's got the juicy pineapple there just staring me in the face on sale at Food Basics.
I mean, that's not really to say that I'm keeping up with what's going on down there either. Really, I sort of get the gist.
I read the tweets.
I read
the
the
headlines.
tweets. That's really it. But yeah, it's just exhausting. Those of you who are still into politics, fucking good on you.
There's only so many times you can look up the word fascism and still not understand it.
I still just fuck. I mean, we're not. Have we introduced ourselves? Have we gotten that far?
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that. We're
Another
back here.
episode of Don't Go Outside.
Yeah.
'Cause we are inside.
On this very cool Sunday evening. This is episode 40.
Wow, big 4-0.
So
hey, Dad, here's a mug that says 40.
we're the podcast is over the hill now. I think. Is
made
there
it.
a point? Where's the point where we actually celebrate an episode, the fact that we've reached
100.
So it has to happen in.
60 weeks.
Is that how long that is? I guess, yeah. 40 plus 60. That's right. In 60 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Get
60
ready for
weeks.
the...
A year and a little bit.
Oh, God. That's another year. Oh, shit.
Year,
That's
month,
another
and a week.
year away. Oh,
Yep.
Here I am thinking we're doing so well. But we're just
Hopefully we
cruising
have
around.
100 fans by then.
We're still
could justify a party with cake.
Listeners, stay tuned to the show because there will be cake. All you got to do is wait 60 weeks and RSVP to brentcamdgo@gmail.com.
That's right.
Episode 40 here. We have completely penetrated the month of May. We are balls deep here.
You said that last week, and
Maybe
it's late in May. That's about it.
maybe last week, maybe we were just approaching.
You said balls deep.
I did say balls deep.
100. I remember because I haven't heard that in a while. And I went, we're
And
balls
you're like,
deep.
how can we be balls
I've never
deep
heard a
in
month described so dirtily in my life.
Dirtily. I've never heard that word
That's from
said
Trailer Park
either.
Dirtily. Dirty
Yeah, okay.
dancing.
If we're
Come on, Patrick Swayze.
Swayze Express. If we're getting our grammar from Trailer Park Boys,
And we are.
I think we need to reel it in at that point.
No.
When I watch that show, I get this incredible, country Canadian accent. If I watch if I watch a season straight of that show, kind of in a very short period of time, I find myself just saying,
fuck boys, let's fucking fire it up and
things like
get
that,
some chicken
or
fingers and some fucking beers.
Or I find myself like I'll say
Mitchell.
like the car instead of like the car. I've just like little. I say like oh he's waiting in the car.
Yeah.
I don't think I mean to do it, but I end up kind of doing it anyways.
Yeah, especially if you're drinking too. Watching the Trailer Park
and
Boys,
they slur.
You just start to turn into.
You start to turn into them. Friend of the show, Cam LeClaire, when he gets a little tipsy, I don't know if he means to do it. I think he means to do it as a joke, and it's really good. But his Mr. Leahy impression is fucking spot on.
Yeah, well, it helps when you're hammered
It really comes out like the more the more he's been drinking. I mean, sober it's pretty good, but when he's drunk, it's
propane.
Just saying whatever, just Rand and
fucking Rand. I'm mowing the air, Rand. I'm mowing the air.
Mowing the air, Rand. I'm mowing the air.
Mr. Leahy, you're drunk. Oh, man. But what did we do today? We indulged in some entertainment. We got out and we did something. Because I haven't seen a show, I was saying, a while, in a long time. You went to a Raptors game. That was the last event.
That was the last time I left the house.
We got to go see Doug Benson do a Doug Loves movie.
Yes, another podcast that I've been listening to for possibly like a decade now.
Yeah, I think you probably introduced me to it.
I probably showed you first.
Well, and I haven't listened as much, but still a fan of the show. I definitely had a period where I was heavily into it, and I enjoyed the heck out of myself.
It was a great time. For those of you who don't know, Doug Benson, stand-up comedian, of course, known for, I think a lot of people have seen Super High Me. Yeah, I think that's available on Netflix. I remember watching that in high school. He's the weed guy. And he has a podcast where he brings comedians on stage and they talk about movies.
Yeah.
And then play all sorts of games, and it's other comedian friends of his who come on. And
yeah, they usually have 3 guests, and we got a special treat. One of the audience members, which they will indulge in some games, got picked as a guest. So there was 2 comedians. I can't. What was it? Mark
Foreman and
Kayla
something.
And Kayla Kazi. And yeah, so there was an open seat, and so one of the they compete in a game to see who in the audience.
Yeah, 3 fans came out
who made beautiful signs for the show. They make little movie poster things. They came up and played a little game, and another fellow named Mark won. And the rest of the show was amazing, and they seemed to just lambast the shit out of this guy, and it was hilarious.
I mean, he was approximately our age. I think this guy.
I'd spot him for our age, yeah.
And
came there alone. He said on mic.
He said on mic a couple times.
Yeah.
And he was just far too know-it-all-y. And I think the crowd turned on him quite quickly.
It took about 3 statements, and everyone was like, you know what? Fuck this, Mark.
Fuck Mark with a hat.
So he was getting just pretty much pounded by all 3 comedians, but it was all in fun. It was fun lambasting.
Yeah, and I don't think this guy is quick enough that he never responded.
No.
And I wonder now, thinking about it, did he know about that? Do you think someone who's
made
being
a poster
but someone
for the show?
I'm saying someone who's being awkward, and this guy, he's very know-it-all-y. Do they know what they're doing? Are they aware? Do they have that ability to step out of themselves and say, "Yeah,
be quiet.
This is this person."
No.
Someone I was in French class with or in high school, we would always say that there are people who get it and people who don't get it in a social setting of just this kind of idea of it is a very it's completely indefinable, this completely indefinable quality.
Yeah.
But some people just have that ability to understand what they're doing socially. And then don't.
This was very apparent today.
And that was very apparent. And I just wonder with
Poor guy was just fidgeting in his seat. He kept taking his baseball cap and putting it backwards and then putting it back forward and putting it backwards, and he had his arm in a crane position.
He was on display. It's funny, how often are people sort of out there in front of people with a microphone, and there was 100 paying.
I'm not saying it's not scary,
patrons.
but
It's
he was also enjoying the fact that he got to go on stage stuff too, you know, when you're relishing in that, and also, you know, getting a crowd to literally turn on you and go like every joke that they had against him landed very hard.
It landed so quickly. Yeah. It was you know, that real know-it-all-y thing.
Thanks for the oversharing. Just like, oh, it's a basic movies, and you know, they're all having fun. Just pick a movie with this letter. It'd be like 1993's the Fly, not the original Fly.
The Avengers 1998 yes, with Uma Thurman and Ralph Fiennes.
Like, all of that is not.
None of that was even necessary.
2 words could have been said.
I'm excited to. I am real excited to listen back to that. I'm going to listen to parts of that episode. And
yeah, I want to know if I can hear your laugh going. Ha, ha.
I think we'll be able to hear my laugh. I bet if they had, I didn't notice, but I'm sure that by the console they had like.
They have some extra mics
some kind of omni mic for the for crowd noise, and I think either way, I think I'd be able to be heard because I have a.
It was about 38 degrees Celsius in there. It was very warm, and all of the comedians commented on it, and they had to turn the lights off. Which
it was super hot.
Fun bit in itself.
Which was a funny bit, but I think
had a lot of trouble turning off the lights.
I think I asked you this question. I don't think like if they're LED lights, it's not actually gonna like do anything. If they were
they're not old lights that are heating.
If
everything.
They were
they
park
just don't
cans
like
and had like light fixtures. No, I think in their mind they thought if they turned the lights off, it would make it like cold.
To be fair, the mind we're talking about is Doug Benson, and I'm sure he was very high on marijuana substances.
He was. The 4:20 start time
so the lights
got
are
pushed
probably
back
just
to about a 4:35.
Yeah, it was a mean 4:35, but
just because of his
went by quick. It was fucking.
It was
fun.
a great time. It was a great time. I'm glad that we made the decision to go.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure he comes to Toronto like once a year. I bet.
Yeah, he seems to be touring.
You know, sort of. He'll do a tour of the Northeast and Toronto. I bet Toronto and Vancouver are probably like the 2 Canadian stops.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go see some more comedy too in the city. There's a lot to offer, but
yeah, you know what? And I think we missed. We should get on that Just for Laughs train.
Yeah, they always have they have so many headliners coming.
You know, they got a lot of headlines.
John Mulaney, maybe
shows all over the place. They do other like live podcast recordings also.
Yeah,
I think
keep our eye on it.
You know, we'll have to keep our ears to the ground and our eyes on the wall.
That's it.
And our noses in the air.
And our feet planted firmly in the grass.
Because
we're outside in the jungle.
I want to watch you bleed. Bow now. Just like that.
I want to watch you bleed.
I want to watch you bleed. Whoopsies. What did we do last week? So last week we had a great time. Great show last week. We haven't even gotten
delicious pizza pie.
We haven't even gotten the chance to talk about you're 2 guests in a row now that two of our 6 guests on the show you've actually flat out just not been here for.
Yeah, you seem to be the interview guy, so
and I've had to firmly plant the show down. Last week we had did you get a chance to listen back to the show, to listen to celebrity agent Hollywood expertise Brent Stanton?
I did get a chance to listen back to the episode, and I'm glad you're safe. He sounded like a bit of a loose cannon.
He was all over the place. He was sweating. He was
how good were those pizza pies though?
Were they good? I don't know. Where'd you get them from?
They were delicious.
Did you go to the Papa John's?
I went to Papa John's.
You went to the Papa John's that we rode past?
Eli Manning.
He was just there waiting.
He was there.
He was just there waiting for you in the...
They just pay me here, man.
Are they paying? They're paying Peyton and Eli now?
Is Eli the guy? I thought it was just Peyton.
Wait, you said Eli. Which one's which? They look so goddamn. I'm not sure.
Similar. Let's move past this and go to corrections, so we don't create more.
Anyways, corrections. The Billboard Music Awards happened last week, and the finalists for the awards, like the awards are actually calculated based on the amount of album and digital song sales, streaming, radio play, touring, and social engagement. So it is an arbitrary system, but they have a way of calculating all these things.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Nielsen Music and another an entertainment data company called Next Big Sound calculate these things and sort of put it all into one sort of thing, right?
Just a smorgasbord
of
media, fame,
everything,
and
right?
Everything. Social media, what?
Which I think at the same time also kind of explains why our girl Bad Babby was probably nominated, because I bet
so much social media exposure.
She's all over the place. Yeah,
she's, getting traffic everywhere.
No,
people just want to hear it as a joke.
If they just want to hear it as a joke.
It was a goof.
It was a goof, but a little bit of knowledge. In Franklin.
Yeah.
You're right. You were like pretty right.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the other characters in Franklin just have the name of their animal.
Yes.
But Franklin and his family are the only ones to have first and last names. His name is Franklin Turtle.
Okay, yeah.
And then so there's
what's his mom's name? Mom Turtle.
Elizabeth Turtle, and there's Jonathan Turtle.
What? Does he have a sister?
No. Yeah, there's a Harriet Turtle. There's an Aunt Teeny Turtle, Granny Turtle.
Oh, because his whole family, his
so
whole family will come
family
over, and it's not,
Yeah.
Goose.
So yeah, you were like kind of right. Everyone else is just kind of like badger, fox, beaver,
bear,
and then no one else has Mr.
Bear, Mrs. Bear.
Yeah, there's a Mr. Owl and a Dr. Bear.
Ooh, Dr. Bear.
Dr. Bear. But everyone else is
My name is Cornelius Fissifer, and I'm a fox.
What else do we got here from this goddamn corrections? We were talking a little bit too far or too long yesterday or last week about 27
dresses. We got ourselves in the 27 dresses hole again.
You mean the hole that we got ourselves into? Just keep talking about 27 dresses. You asked if her hair was different.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it looked
brown,
obviously
and
different, and then it looks blonde. So there were reshoots that happened afterwards. Nothing online, nothing explicitly saying that
I'm the first one to break this.
You're the first one to break this. I think you might be. You might be the first one to base it on a hair conspiracy.
Hear that, Netflix? We got a 5-part series, mini series
coming for you.
Katherine Heigl
coming in hot. This isn't the first time that's happened though. Have you seen the that Fantastic Four remake? The most recent, it came out like 2-3 years ago ish.
No, I saw the one from early 2000.
Yeah, with Jessica Alba. Well, they rebooted it with Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller from Whiplash. Yeah. I can never remember her name. She was the reporter in the first few seasons of House of Cards.
Not Anna Kendrick?
No, it's
something like that though. She's mousy.
Yeah, a petite white woman. Anyways, that movie had that, and if you haven't, you got to watch the movie's bad. Okay. The movie's bad, but they made it as if it's good. Not like when you're watching like a B movie and like they know it's a B movie, but this one they're
trying.
It was a mid July release, $100+ million budget, like it was meant to be a big thing.
Yeah, but like just never had any legs.
The studio and the director, like there was so much conflict that the amount of reshoots they had to do. Kate Mara, that's her name.
Kate Mara.
She had already cut her hair for like the next role.
Yeah.
So it's almost like scene to scene is like natural long hair and then
chopped.
The wig and then back to, and like it's incredibly obvious. It's incredibly obvious, almost scene to scene.
Yeah, but 27 dresses is arguably a classic. Where
It's a
Fantastic Four, that's the least of their worries.
It's a rom-com classic. You know, some of these reshoots can end up costing a lot of money.
Well, that's disappointing.
It's disappointing. Well, anyways, that's what we got. That's what we got from last week's corrections department. What I love about these corrections is that we all kind of learned something. We all kind of learn a little bit about...
We learned more about 27 Dresses.
Well, I mean, that raises the question, can you ever know too much about 27 Dresses?
No, there's always more to explore.
There's always more to explore. I mean, this is the James Marsden we're talking about.
Yep.
Who's been in such films as 27 Dresses. You know, I mean, that's...
What more?
What more do you need? This is he was also in the film...
27 Dresses.
27 Dresses. See, like, like this movie is huge.
Have you seen that movie? It's a great movie.
I've never seen that movie.
No, we should watch that.
You want to watch that later?
We should watch it right now.
Okay, we're gonna take a.
We're gonna take a 27 dress quick break.
27 Dresses break.
We're watching a cable though, so it's gonna be long.
Oh, the TV edit.
Yep.
The TV cut of I love TV cuts of movies, by the way. I love.
Me too. Goodfellas on TV, way better than DVD. Martin Scorsese didn't know the timing.
And the people
I wanted
overdubbing
to leave commercial in between my Ray Liotta and my De Niro.
I need that hot commercial.
Yes.
And the TV edit of... Do you ever find yourself doing that, though? If you are watching cable, you'll come by a movie that, like, you have it on DVD, or you have the ability to not watch it with commercials.
Cameron, that's the best time to watch one of those. I don't have to get up and put on that stupid DVD, pop it in the player, hit my input button on my TV remote. Oh, out of batteries, because I use this thing once every 3 months. And you're pissed.
And that's like 6 steps right there. And we haven't even finished the process yet.
Yeah.
I've seen the TV edit of, like, the Spike TV edit of Kill Bill probably 3 times.
I've seen it a lot. I've seen the Much Music
always
edit
on
of 8 Mile.
Ooh, what's that
15 times.
What's that like?
It's silent. It's silent. It seems mostly about spaghetti. It's the only thing that makes it through.
They just replace... They cut out scenes altogether.
All I heard was in the rap was it was just a beat like... And I just heard Cheddar Bob when he shot himself. That was the only audible thing.
But they cut out the scene where he shot himself, so there's no context.
And they blurred Brittany Murphy's face.
They're not allowed to show her face.
No, they're not allowed to show her face on Much Music anymore.
We didn't get to see Kim Basinger banging that dude. No context of why B Rabbit is pissed at his mom. No context of that.
Because he's living in a trailer park.
Well,
Come on, there's got to be... You got to be a little pissed, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think at that point, just kind of get your own trailer, right? Even if you're still living in a trailer park, I think living in a different trailer
in your own
than
would
your
be
mom,
better. Some independence would be nice.
You know, I mean, that's all I want for B Rabbit.
B Rabbit, baby.
You know, and then what? The movie just kind of stops where it starts, right? He just kind of like picks up his bag of shit and then like is like, "No, I'm going to work tomorrow."
Life's still shit.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like keeps
bumpers
walking.
Or whatever he did.
Met
like
steel.
Plates.
Yeah, he just kind of like worked in the steel mill and just kind of like.
Good movie though. Good movie.
I remember watching that movie.
I had that on DVD also. Yeah,
you got it. I remember watching that movie with my stepdad and my mom upstairs, like in her bedroom. I swear she was probably just like crying to herself that her son was like watching this.
Like my mom will still now
like in
go,
the floor downstairs.
Language. I'm like, I'm 26. Like,
yeah, as soon as
The Sopranos is bad. I'm like, come on.
As soon as there's any language or violence, my mom just checks out completely.
She checks out?
Like altogether. Like she will not watch it. She will not enjoy it.
Yeah. My mom doesn't like murder or like, you know.
My mom just watched the new animated Coco.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this one?
Yeah. It got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Never seen
like
it.
A Mexican death dance.
Heard amazing things, but yeah, it's about a kid and then he kind of like does whatever and then starts all of his like dead relatives, and, you know, his like grandparents, aunts and uncles and stuff. And
your mom was picketing.
She checked out after it was like, Dad, Grandma's fucking gone. Like she couldn't even, but
All
some
right, well,
moms, some moms are just
Some
different.
moms,
Some moms, right? I mean, I feel like it's not.
I'm never gonna stay up with my mom and watch Casino. This is where they're gonna break his hand with a hammer.
Yeah, this is
Look, Mom, look. It's like, Jesus, I'm Grey's Anatomy.
Mom's just like, Sharon Stone. No, what are you doing, Sharon Stone?
Yeah.
That's Joe Pesci. That's not your husband, Sharon Stone.
Sharon,
Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone. What are you doing, Sharon Stone? You know what? We're talking a lot about movies. I think we should keep talking about movies. What do you think?
Yeah.
Here's a top 5. Here are 5 tips about things. 5 ways. No, it's just a top 5. Okay, we're back with another top 5.
Hey,
we haven't had one of these in a long time. This week we're talking about movies in this week's top 5. Isn't that fun that we were just talking film? Now, Brennan,
Cinema.
You've seen a lot of films, I can imagine. And I mean, we've never spoke personally about the matter, but we've seen a lot of movies together.
I've seen a lot of movies.
Name one.
League of Their Own. Was watching it on cable the other day.
This is not the first time League of Their Own has come up in this podcast. It really won't be the last. You know what? Actors, actresses, they're just like us. When they want something, they gotta apply for it. It's the same way that you got to apply for a job. They got to apply for a movie. So here, yeah, exactly. This week's top 5, we're looking at failed auditions that would have changed it all.
Okay.
Right? Because you got to know that, like, before these movies are cast, they don't just say, I want Charlie Hunnam.
I think they do. To stars, they do.
To stars, they do.
You don't think they go, I want Brad Pitt? They're like, no, he reads in the room.
But sometimes there are stars that
I don't think you can handle
the pit. Sometimes these auditions do not go according to plan, and we're going to take a look at that. Coming in at number 5 is Tom Selleck auditioning as Indiana Jones for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Look, I did what I did.
Oh,
I
you
don't
got some
expect
audio.
you to be
All
happy about it. But maybe it can do us both some good.
Why start
Just
now?
shut up. Shut up.
This was his screen test from 1980.
Acting are kind of raw, and I think that was what.
So
is there someone commenting on this video?
Yeah, there was. It's tough to find a clean version of that. Yeah, so
you
Tom
like a good
Selleck,
sitcom dad.
Tom Selleck auditioned for Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1980, and he got the role. He was a lock, and Steven Spielberg and George Lucas both loved him and wanted him to play the part. However, this was in the throes of him performing, him doing Magnum P.I., and CBS wouldn't let him take the movie because they were scared that it was going to lead on to more things, and his time commitment would be they were worried that he was going to have to leave Magnum P.I.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people were worried about that.
But yeah, can you picture that? Can you picture Indiana Jones the way it is now with a thick old mustache?
That's really the only difference. It's just going to be a thick mustache. He has a little bit of a Harrison Ford energy to him. More sitcom dad kind of.
And we never saw. I don't think we ever saw Tom Selleck in the full out action hero star the way that we see Harrison Ford.
But that's because I never had a VHS of Magnum PI.
That was never an important show in my household.
God, I've never heard of it except for maybe Family Guy or something. You
know it as
a reference,
as a reference point.
Yeah.
It just picture late 70s. It was like TV action.
I know
that kind of A-Team
vibe. Tattoo, and they go and drive down the street and presumably have sex with beach babes
the whole time.
Magnum PI.
And that's sometimes they do the P's and the I's.
Hey, it's Tom Selleck.
What's your dick like, homie? What are you into?
Cocaine and fucking.
Cocaine and fucking for Tom Selleck.
I already talked about it when me and my mom saw Tom Selleck, right?
You've seen Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I told
live
you,
in front of your face.
The podcast, I think.
You've told the story?
Yeah.
No, you told the story about seeing RVD. I don't think we've heard the Selleck story.
No, I did. Yeah, he was eating... it was either Fruit Loops or Cheerios. We were out west on a little road trip to... we were going to BC, but I think it was in Edmonton or Calgary, in the lobby of a hotel.
Whoa.
Yep, my mom's like, that's Tom Selleck, and I'm like, what's that?
What's a Tom Selleck? You thought it was like a hairstyle? Or...
Yeah.
check out that person with the Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I think I was 12. I'm like, okay.
That's pretty cool, though.
Cool.
That's pretty cool, though. I don't think you have told that story here on the show yet.
All right. Well, it was a good one. Glad I saved it.
Hopefully you have a story for every single one of these. Things.
That'd be great if I met all of them.
Coming in at number 4 is Kurt Russell auditioning as both Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Hey.
Planet's been completely
I could
blown
see him in
away.
there. He's kind of a little
Taken
bit of both.
1,000 ships with more firepower than I've ever seen. If the Empire had some sort of new weapon that could do this, I'd have heard something. I'd know about it.
Well, now you know. The enemy's on the move and we haven't much time.
Kurt Russell's great.
Yeah, well,
And this was prime young Kurt Russell.
We'll just have to find the record.
So yeah, he actually auditioned for both parts in this movie. Not sure which one he was going to get. And there was a point where he was offered another deal by ABC to star in the short-run TV series called The Quest. It was a Western series that came out in like 1978 or 76 or something. And he sort of, and like going back, he looks at it and he's like, he sort of had to kind of make the decision, like this movie that I might get and might be a flop.
Yeah.
Or
it's called Star Wars.
It's called Star Wars. Actually,
Okay.
at this time, Luke Skywalker still was named whatever the fuck he was called.
Johnny Appleseed. But yeah, you got to go to a Western at that time. Westerns were foolproof.
Yeah.
Everyone loved a good Western.
Yeah, he was still called. He'd still auditioned for the part when the character was Luke Starkiller.
Luke Starkiller.
That was the original name, like up until they fucking started filming.
I don't know why I find that name so cheesy, but Skywalker.
Well, I think it's because it's
Walker is a name.
I think
it's a Western name.
Skywalker, Texas Ranger.
Are we thinking that Star Wars is really just a space Western?
I think it's more of
There's one chick.
I think it's more of a space World War II. That's what I always thought, because I always thought that George Lucas was
You loved Hitler? Is that
no
what you're trying to say?
no. Well, because George Lucas,
I like Darth.
George Lucas's dad was a history teacher, and apparently, like when George Lucas was young, like that's all. Like they were always talking about like World War II, and his dad just like taught him about the war, and he was fascinated with it. And there's a lot of those things that kind of come out in the way that the way that the space battles and the personal one-on-one battles, just the way that everything going on at the same time, like sci-fi movies, war action movies, like those war movies were the only movies that were doing that, where there were multiple battles happening all over the place that eventually would lead to these good guys and bad guys, which is something we see now all the time. Like if we if we just saw one battle, even you think of something like Return of the King. There's like 6 things going on there at the end.
There's too much going on.
There's too much going on. But that's fun. It would have been nice to see Kurt Russell. As either one of those characters. I think our perception of Luke Skywalker being a little like wuss, that would definitely have been curbed. I think if it was like a hunky Kurt Russell doing it, not like a little whiny Mark Hamill.
That's what makes it good, though. He doesn't need to be all jacked up. He needs the Force.
That's a good point.
And also, I feel like there's a theme within these, and that is you wish Harrison Ford got less work. And I'm with you, buddy.
That's all I ever wanted.
Guys
was
too much.
The guy, he was Han Solo. He was
he's been in space. He's been in the desert.
He was Jack Ryan in all those Clear and Present Dangers. Remember
He's
that?
in too much.
He was
way too much.
Hey, these people, they're talking to you. Something's going to go wrong. Hey, you want to choke the guy out.
Right?
Han Solo could have done it. Okay, we're moving on. Coming in at number 3 is Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
I don't even like Back to the Future.
So that's okay. So this one's a weird one because Michael J. Fox at the time was busy on Family Ties, and he didn't have time to do this movie. So they actually cast Eric Stoltz, and they filmed for 5 weeks. 5 weeks of film starring
shit.
another guy as Marty McFly.
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis really wanted Michael J. Fox, but it couldn't work. And then after 5 weeks, they figured out he wasn't funny. Eric Stoltz was not funny, and so
get the fuck out of the movie, buddy.
So they were so is there anything we can do with Michael J. Fox? They made it work, and ended up costing production only $3 million.
Oh, only $3,
and that's $1985.
Yeah.
So I mean, for inflation, it would have cost if something like that ever happened now, that would be a fuck ton of money.
Yeah. Well, think about how many of those movies that happens with that don't even see the light of day because they fuck themselves with money. Like that happened in Apocalypse Now too, right? Harvey Keitel was originally the Martin Sheen character. And,
really?
Yeah, and they filmed a bunch of weeks with him. Then they butted heads, and then he got fired, and then they got Martin Sheen to come in and fucking do it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there was some like breakdown on set. You should watch Heart of Darkness. It's a great documentary they were filming at the same time. Francis Ford Coppola's wife was she's a filmmaker.
Was making of
Apocalypse Now because it went like 2 years.
Because there weren't enough cameras. And
exactly, there wasn't a high enough budget. They needed to justify the making of. But it's a sick documentary.
Or I feel like the studio asked them to do a making of so they could make sure that the movie was actually happening
to have
and
accountability. These are film receipts. They were just flying planes and dropping fake bombs when they were hammered.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But can you imagine that? Just kind of knowing, you look back at your career, or I think if something like that happened these days, of course, with social media, it would go crazy. Like if someone spent 5 weeks in a role and then got fired from the role.
Yeah.
Or
I'm sure
let go
it gets
and
buried, though, right?
Maybe that's it. It kind of
embarrassing.
They snuff it out before it ever gets too far. Of course, Michael J. Fox did great with that role. Back to the Future was one of the ones that I watched. Back to the Future Part 2. Watched it all the time. Walk up, we'd rent the VHS every other weekend or something.
I never got into it that much.
Yeah, that was that was one of those ones that
What about 3?
No.
That was the one where it's the Western, right?
Yeah, and it's not it just kind of falls flat,
Yeah.
They filmed 2 and 3 at the same time. It was one of those things that it was something contractually speaking, it was they had to do 3, but then they waited 4 years between 1 and 2, and it was okay, let's just keep filming and film a third one.
Crazy.
It was one of those studio, the studios
some type of thing
talking shit.
You got to get 3 out, so film it all in one go. It's going to be 5 years, and it's going to be grueling.
Just might as well. I mean, the Infinity War films were filmed back to back. I know that. Oh. So, although the first Infinity War is still sitting in the box office, right now, the second one is finished filming altogether.
Okay.
But it's not going to come out for another 10 months or so. We still got a fucking ways to go on that.
We got a ways.
Coming in at number 2 is Robert De Niro auditioning for the role of Sonny Corleone in The Godfather Part 1.
You're gonna take them, and you know what they're gonna do to you? Hey, you know what you do when you knock somebody off? You take a gun, you shoot him right up against his fucking head. That's what you do. You get his brains all over your nice new Ivy League suit, Michael. That's what happens. How do you like that?
I think he could have pulled that off. Well, he got a good part in 2 anyways.
Well, he could have pulled it off. Apparently
James Caan, right?
It was the role did go to James Caan.
Yeah.
Apparently he rubbed Francis Ford Coppola, just kind of rubbed him the wrong way. And
just for the part though, he used him in the next movie.
No one wanted him, but yeah, they kept him in mind, and then he ended up winning his first Oscar.
Yeah.
Playing Michael Corleone, or Don Corleone, which probably worked out for the best because
he was awesome in that part.
I don't think this is a spoiler alert, but Sonny Corleone gets shot the fuck up.
Yeah, they both got one film. Compromise.
split it in 2.
Split it up. No one wanted to be in 3, so
I don't even think Al Pacino hardly wanted to be in 3 either.
I got a great big ass. God, I wish I could talk like Al Pacino all the time, and no one would hit me.
Just no one would. Ever tell you about me watching Scent of a Woman with my father?
I think you did.
If you want to watch, listeners, if you're sitting there and you just want to do something on Friday or Saturday night, watch a movie with my dad. and then
with your dad.
Be prepared for the commentary because my dad's quick. He's got a quick wit for a man in his late 50s.
So you won't be able to enjoy the movie, but have fun with the commentary from Cam's dad.
From Polly. Yeah, it's just, if you want to watch Scent of a Woman with my dad, he says some pretty funny
Emilio
things.
Estevez.
He says some pretty funny things.
I always thought your dad looked
like
Emilio Estevez.
All of you guys don't know that he looks like Robin Williams. I don't know what you're saying.
I think I just said it so much that it stuck.
It was Zach. Zach said it so much. I think I always thought of him as pioneering that thought.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to take
tank.
credit for it.
Of course you're going to take credit for it. No, my dad looks like...
Do you think Zach has an Emilio Estevez...
complex?
No. Yeah.
Maybe.
Right in the back of his head?
No, you know what?
Pulling that?
My dad looks like Robin Williams. And this has happened a few times. Back when Robin Williams was living. This would happen to him like all over the place. But
autoerotic asphyxiation.
That's what it was. But this happened to me once that I actually got to experience. So we are boarding a plane we vacationed in New Orleans, and we're getting in the airplane to come back. And at the Air Canada booth, or like you're going to like check in, and there's no one at the first class gate. So the person at first class just calls us over. We're flying normal class, by the way. So we go over to the first economy class. So we go over to the first class gate, and my dad's checking in or whatever, and I see these two kids like really looking at my dad. Like, and they're looking at each other, then like they're looking away, then they're looking back at him, and I can.
Your dad says, "Cameron, I have to tell you something."
My dad. So I look at my dad, and I say, like, these two kids are looking at you, and he just like, without skipping a beat, he just is like, "Oh, they must think I'm Robin Williams." Like it happens to him, and it happened to him enough that he knows the way that people would like look at him.
Do you understand in that story? They didn't say anything.
No,
your dad told you this, and you believed him.
No, like I was watching this also happening.
I know, but you had no confirmation that they thought he was Robin Williams.
No, but this has happened to it had happened to my dad enough that he's like, I know what people do when they think I'm Robin Williams.
All right, Cam, I'll take it. But when I hear you say that he looks like Robin Williams, I want a story where someone comes up to you and asks him for an autograph because he's Robin Williams.
No, I'm
not
saying
two kids.
That has happened. I just have not been there to see this happen.
I know. I want that story.
Well, I wasn't there for that story. Jesus Christ. Okay, coming in at number 1. This is actually...
We're still on this 5?
Yeah. How do you think top 5s work?
I thought Robert De Niro was always one.
No. This is number 1 is actually kind of... It's a mini 4-parter. It is everyone who auditioned for The Office and didn't get the role, including Seth Rogen as Dwight K. Schrute.
Oh, yeah. I watched this one recently, I think.
If you're in the field, you can clean a man's wound by taking a whiz on it. That is actually in first aid books written by the Red Cross.
We play hard and we work hard.
And then you have Bob Odenkirk as Michael Scott.
Oh, yeah. He got on the show later, too.
He did get on the show later. We also have Patton Oswalt as Dwight Schrute.
Volunteer sheriff's deputy.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. And finally, we have Adam Scott auditioning as Jim Halpert.
Paper and, if we can supply it to them and if they can purchase it, and I'm boring myself just talking about it. So... I can't even.
Good take, Adam.
Good take, Adam.
Good take on Jim.
Yeah. None of them work. The other two really don't work, or the Seth Rogen and Patton Oswalt ones really don't work. Adam Scott kind of works because
a little bit. It's hard to say because those characters they seem very perfectly cast.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. It's sort of like you see the show now, and actually, there are more more people who did audition for The Office. Cameron Stone Street, or sorry, that sounds Eric Stone Street. Sorry, he plays Cameron on Modern Family.
Oh yeah.
He auditioned for Kevin, and it's there was this laundry.
Glasses,
there's
right?
like this laundry list of people who actually auditioned for that show. It looks like they were just taking. People.
Is this the reboot, and that's what they do, man. They take their field of all the guys who do that stuff, and then
but this
they're
was
clearly all good
like,
actors, right? They all have jobs now.
Like this was Seth Rogen like 2 years before 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
Before he kind of came out.
And then,
Patton Oswalt still looks like he did in that episode of Seinfeld. Like, he looks the same kind of way. You know, guys like Adam Scott like also doing stand up. You know, it's because that's like 15 years ago now is when that show started in 2004.
Yeah, fuck.
So it's
well, they all did well. Good on them.
Good on them. And yeah, that's all we got. That's all we got for this week's top 5. Listeners, if you have any other favorite failed auditions, feel free to let us know at brencamdgo@gmail.com, or I don't know, write us a tweet, or you can comment on an Instagram photo, or
anything you want.
Just yell the thought into the air, and I don't know, maybe we'll hear it. Those sound waves have to go somewhere.
That's true.
But be sure you say it at night, because you know sound travels further when there's less humidity in the air.
Yep.
This is 101 type shit.
We all know this, obviously.
We all know this, obviously. I think it's about time we take a break, though.
Yeah.
Because we just cranked out.
Barking.
Your puppies are barking. Stay tuned, though, because Brendan, I think we can help your puppies after the break. So you stick around.
Hooray!
This episode of Brendan and Cameron Don't Go Outside is also brought to you by Thongies. For you babies out there who are tired with the fit of regular diapers, Thongies now available in the Baby Got backpack, which is 385 individual Thongies. That's right. Feel fierce with the new... Oh my God, Thongies. We're back. We're back from a long break. I know you there in the listener world. That was just a mere seconds. That was a mere small amount of time for you. You know, it kept going. But on our end, we've taken a good 45 minutes off.
Yeah, we napped.
We took a quick nap together. We put the body pillow between us, you know, to keep things,
so we both have something to snug.
So we both snuggle each side of the little body pillow.
Other than our bare tummies. I've got a suggestion. We should maybe stop taking sponsorships from fucking psychopaths.
You know what? I think it just kind of comes with the territory of, you know, the people who are listening to us.
Yeah, well, it's buried halfway through the episode, too. So if you stuck it this far, you can take it.
I'm sure you can take, you know what? But if you want your product to be heard on the show, you know the email. I think I've said it like 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times, and I'll continue to do so because you know what? It's my show.
Yes,
it's our show. but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's your show. Okay.
No, you get it.
Oh, it's your show.
Hey, your name's first. So you know.
But you said to do that. Selfish. Speaking of emails, I got a bunch of. I don't know if you've looked at the email recently, but we got a bunch of voicemail, or not even voicemail, voice memos.
Voice memos on the email
from the guest you were talking to last week. That Brent Stanton
from Brent Stanton.
The Hollywood agent or whatever the fuck it was.
Hollywood agent, super expertise.
Yeah, whatever.
That is I know. Yeah, you weren't here, and I hate to say it, Brendan, but he wants to represent me, and I really don't want this to put a rift between us in the show. Like I know that we're sort of in this together and we do this together.
I think you should go for it if you feel. You
think I should?
If you think that that's the best option for you, then
I mean, I'm sort of weighing my options right now.
I will warn you. I listened to all the voice memos and he sounded a little off his rocker.
Okay. Well, maybe maybe let's see what he had to say.
He sent about 45 of them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He kept saying I don't know how he's sending these things either because he repeatedly said that he does not have a phone. But there were voice memos. So
I can only imagine.
Does he have a Zoom recorder, some type of?
He is around a lot of kids in 7-Eleven bathrooms.
Great.
Maybe he's kind of using their phones to, send out emails or I hope that's not the case.
I'm sure that's not the worst of it from this guy. He sounds like a fucking creep.
So what do you have to say? What did Brent Stanton have to say?
I'll give you a sampling because I can't really play a lot of these on the air because of the material within it.
On the air? Well, we have the little E in the red square beside our name.
That's not going to.
Oh, that's not going to do it. Oh, okay. There's a lot worse things than
I'll do the
E
ones
in the
that
red
we can
square.
play. Here's the first one from Brent Stanton. Just gonna say we probably shouldn't have this guy on the show again.
He was a colorful character.
Yeah, I get. You could say.
Hi,
Right,
Cameron. Brent Stanton here, Hollywood super agent to the stars execs. Just calling to follow up about our proposal the other day. How does 400 ounces of hand sanitizer sound? I think it'd be really great. Let me know what you think. Give me a call back. I do not have a phone.
400 ounces. Now, I think it was, his initial offer was 300 ounces of sanitizer, which he gets from the 7-Eleven bathrooms and he puts into his pockets.
He tagged it hand sanitizer, like 9 of the voice memos too.
Really? Okay.
He seems to be obsessed with the hand
sanitizer. See, when I asked him for maybe something monetary, he just kept going back and increasing the amount of sanitizer.
Sounds like a street bum.
That he was going to try to. You know what? I mean, he did come off the street. So I guess in that sense,
how is he sending voice memos? I don't understand.
I think the only answer is that
it sounded clear.
It sounded like he took a teenager's phone from a 7-Eleven. Maybe he's onto these burner phones now. You know those you pay $15 and then you get minutes or
this isn't
whatever.
The Wire season 2. Burner
this is
phones.
The Wire season 5.
At least
season 5.
I like the one with the sax intro.
Oh, I like anything with Tommy Carcetti, but
hey, a couple of Carcetti fans over here.
We call ourselves Carheads.
Yeah, he seems to be losing it more and more though. I'll play.
He sent more. Did he send more? What else can we play? And I'm sure listeners, if you are sensitive to certain material, I can only imagine that they should maybe press fast forward a little plus 15 seconds.
No, I cut through the shit.
Oh, you pre-edited.
I listened to all of them.
Oh,
I was
thank you.
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is going on with this dude? It was a little alarming, but I don't know. He seems like he's quite a character.
Quite a character. What else? What else does he have for us?
Howdy, hey,
lunatic.
It's Brent Stanton, Hollywood super agent to the stars. Cameron. Did you get to think any more about the contract? I hope you did. My business partners are very excited to get started. I can see you in the eternal flame and the sun is shining on your back. Well, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
He really
wants a Gladiator reference? I think it's a Gladiator reference.
Is that what he means by that?
Yeah.
I mean, he certainly...
When the sun is shining on your back, then that's when you know you're in heaven.
He certainly knows movies, I guess. I mean, he certainly knows actors.
Who talks like that? The eternal flame.
He's a very literal man. And he means what he says.
Did he have a big bag of pills when you came in? Did he sound clinky? He's got Tic Tacs.
No, he didn't have anything in his pocket. Well, I mean, I imagine if he did have anything in his pockets, the sound would have been absorbed by all the sanitizer.
Yeah, but the hand sanitizer
that I didn't know was in there when he was wearing large cargo pants.
Oh God,
filled with sanitizer.
Chair got a free cleaning, probably.
It probably did. That chair is 99.9% disinfected right now.
Yeah, I'll just play 2 more because I don't want to give this guy too much exposure. It feels like a high school shooter when you put their manifesto up on the.
Oh, this is the Unabomber right here. Yeah,
this is a high school shooter who borrowed a gun from dad and had tweets that were reading as gospel, and the kid's 16.
And the kid's 16.
Got a fucking C- in English.
Brent Stanton is a man at least in his mid 40s, I would think. At least I don't think I asked him how old he was, but that was he appeared as though he was in his mid 40s. Yeah.
Okay, well, God bless, because I don't know how you live like that past 50.
Somehow.
Cameron, Brent Stanton here. I lost Mexican Jim's phone, so once again I do not have a phone. Please reconsider the contract. I will be at once again 7-Eleven from the hours of 7 to 9 this weekend. Brent Stanton.
This man is not giving up. Did he say he had a phone from Mexican Jim?
I believe is what he said.
Okay.
That's the only reference of Mexican Jim I got from
I don't think
any of the voice memos. I don't know what he's talking about.
I thought he was
he sounded like a solo guy to me.
In 7-Eleven. I thought he was with overhearing kids or teens or okay, yeah. Do any more of this any more of Brent Stanton? I got to hear his final offer if he's got anything for me.
There's a couple more. I don't know if there's a final offer. I'll just play one more because I feel bad for this guy.
A lot of these. Yeah, you're scrolling through them right now.
Yeah. Oh, this poor bastard.
Okay, what do you got for us, Brent?
I'll just play this last one.
Hi, Cameron. Brent Stanton. I just noticed you haven't returned any of my audio messages. I hope you're not talking to David Krishna. Oh, because I would stab him right between the eyes. All kidding aside, I see you in the eternal flame about every night. Please return my audio messages. I'm getting a little desperate over here. And once again, I do not have a phone.
Right. Now, I think Mexican Jim is the man who he hangs out with by the fire.
The flame?
By the flame. That's what it was. That's
okay,
where
so there is a reference to the flame.
He did mention the flame. It's a flame that him and a couple other guys, I think Mexican Jim is one of them, and it sort of seems as though they are exposed to spirits or things of some that kind of nature. I think he's a very spiritual man, I think.
Okay. Sounds like he's haunted from the insides.
You know what?
I would suggest probably I didn't return any of these voice memos. I would suggest you maybe do the same. I wasn't face to face with him, so I can't really judge.
Brent, I'm sorry, but just upping the sanitizer amount by 100 milliliters, that's not enough to do it. I can't. That's not enough. Just from 300 to 400 milliliters. We need to talk cash money. We need to talk opportunities. We can't just be talking sanitizer. I mean, if we want to turn this into a client-manager relationship,
I should hope you would need more than that.
I need a little bit more than 400 milliliters.
You're gonna backstab your best bud Brent over here and not get me in on the action.
I tried getting you in. He wasn't interested. He was only interested in me. I even tried to I want him to sign the show, just the show as an entity.
Well, I think he would have liked my stuff if he saw it. I was out getting pizza pies for the gang.
I agree, but then you never returned.
Well, me and Matt the intern were fucking eating them outside. Sorry you didn't see. You were down here with hand sanitizer pockets, blowing up our spot. I don't have any room on my Google Drive anymore because of you.
The Google Drive is full.
It's full of these voice memos.
His Brent Stanton.
The first one was 4 hours long.
What did he talk about for 4 hours?
I fell asleep.
And you cut it down to 30 seconds.
I chopped it down.
You chopped it down.
A lot of them were in about 5-second spurts.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a big sizzling sound, and then the rant would go for about 4 hours.
Like a bacon sizzle? It sounds like he's cooking, or
it sounded like a bacon sizzle. Yes.
Wow. But it probably wasn't bacon.
Doesn't sound like a fucking chef to me. You think? Hand sanitizer pockets. Doesn't sound like a bacon eater. That's not kosher.
Brent Stanton, I don't know if you're listening to this right now, but I'm going to have to publicly and personally decline your offer of 400 milliliters of hand sanitizer. I will entertain other offers, but we're gonna have to escape.
I think that's awful fair of you.
I think we're gonna have to get out of this hand sanitizer world. We're gonna have to talk about something else.
What could you possibly do with that?
With 400 milliliter hand sanitizer?
If any amount. I don't even think it works anymore.
Like, other than sanitizing your hands once?
Once in a while.
Once in a while? When was last time I sanitized my hands, actually?
I used to do it at work when I was at Long McQuaid because we'd wrap dirty cables all the time. So
I don't even do that.
One of those, but you don't even need to.
I just wash my hands.
I think there's been several articles that say hand sanitizer doesn't do anything.
Maybe Brent Stanton has all the sanitizer and it's somehow like leaking into his body. Like, you know, like, and this is like 99.9% alcohol, is it not? Like, maybe he's somehow ingesting this. And, like, he's actually a very rational, sane, stable person. But when his pockets are full, it's actually, like...
It's getting absorbed into his skin.
Yeah, it's, like, going straight, like, into, his arteries. And
I'm sure if you're very sweaty, which he sounded...
And, like, it's all absorbing. The pores open up and...
The rectum opens up, and it gets deep inside there and in your veins. I know exactly what you're saying, Cameron.
Is that what happens when you sweat? Your rectum opens?
In some cases, yes.
Impossibly in this case.
As well, if ER taught me anything, it's rectal sweat.
Oh, that's
ER.
ER, the show about rectal sweat.
I always thought it was and it was wrong.
Move over, Grey's Anatomy, because we're talking rectal sweat today. Yeah, go for that. Well, thanks, Brent Stanton. I really hope you can leave our voicemail message box alone, though. I think.
Yeah, I'm not siphoning through that sinkhole of voice memos again because it was rather depressing.
It sounds like it. So I think we're just about coming towards the end-ish of the show.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired.
You're getting a little tired.
We had a big day.
We did have a big day. We left the house.
We did. We left the house. We went on a bus.
We went on a bus. We had a big day. But I think just before we end the show, do we have anything we want to plug?
Well, we always have our social media sites.
Yeah.
We're on the podcast app.
Yeah.
You got that? Got an Apple iPhone? You can always go in there, subscribe. It'd be great if you could leave a review. I think at a certain level, they will start to show up on the app. So you can see your nice little review show up and, give us a 5-star if you want. Give us any star you'd like. We just like the input.
We would love the input. And I'm sure you can, if you're watching or listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, I'm sure there's also a Spotify commenting section. Possibly.
Yeah, we love to hear anything. Critiques, praise, rantings, nonsense, gibberish, foreign languages. Always up to learn.
I'd love to learn a new language.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so important in
this day and age,
this 21st century melting pot that is our culture.
Boy, yeah. T-Rex, baby. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, though, at Grendon Bram, and our Twitter page is at BrenCamDGO, and I run the Twitter. I'm the Twitter man.
You run this joint.
I run this Twitter.
What
do you got to plug?
You can find me on Instagram at Cam_Ozzy, OZZY. I post photos, and I do stuff like that.
Yep, and we'll be trying to post more original content, and I'm getting my Photoshop on, so watch out for some fun.
Shit!
Fun little Photoshops.
Getting your Photoshop on, Jesus. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Another week. We'll be back next week.
We will with another great episode of Brendan and Cameron Don't Go Outside. So don't be a stranger and review us, and we love you. Bye.